forever, the Z06 has made a return. We're actually driving in it right now, but I don't want to make the focus of this channel this car anymore because I feel like it'll tend to be kind of boring, especially if I'm just sitting in the car talking all the time, and I think that's what the majority of my videos were prior to this. So what I want to do is I do want to cover things that still like occur with the Z06, such as the windshield replacement, and I kind of want to go over, like I said, all the costs of everything that have accrued over the years of owning it. So I've only had it for about I'll be going into 3 years this February, and obviously there's like regular maintenance, oil changes, replacing the tires, and then there's things that just happen over time, like, you know, for example, the windshield getting cracked, or I had a rim that cracked on this car, which is actually a pretty common issue. I don't know if you guys read the forums or see stuff like that. If you're interested in this car, it's a well-known issue GM used to cover and it no longer covers. So that came out of my pocket. I'll talk about how much that costed me, and I'll just go over basically like a whole spreadsheet of what I've paid for this car in the roughly, I'm like 13,000 something miles on it. And obviously I don't drive this car all the time because in 2+ years of ownership I only have 13,300 miles on it. So obviously I'm driving other things. And I'm gonna try not to rant in the car right now because I also realized that my videos tended to be a bit longer prior, and I want to try and shorten them. So just to be quick and sweet and to the point, I'm on my way to work right now, and I'm gonna try and shoot this video in like multiple parts. But the new thing I got is actually a go-kart, so I'm gonna start racing a go-kart just because it's a little more practical. It's within my budget, and the practicality of racing a car like this is, unless you're like just rolling in the money, it's not like a serious thing you can do, and it's not something you can do on a regular basis. Just because, quick spoiler alert, for example, tires cost you roughly $2,000 to replace on this car, and when you're going to the track, you're gonna go through them in about 3 days, like 3 track days. You'll get through the tires, and tires on these cars actually only last about, stuff rattling in the back is some model cars. I always buy them for my desk at work, and I just haven't taken them out of the car, but ignore that for now. I should have taken them out, but yeah, so you only get like 10,000 miles out of these tires, let alone on the track. You're going to be going through them 10 times faster just because you're putting a lot of stress. And that's just the tires. You're not counting oil changes and all the other stuff. I really hope the voice is good as well. I keep going off on a tangent, but I realized in my last video for some reason it was only coming out the right side or the left side of the speaker when you had headphones on. So I'm going to look to replace this mic. So yeah, so I'm going to cover that. I'll go over the go-kart. I bought some stuff online for that, and I want to talk about how much it's going to cost me to get into karting and what the cost going through it will be. I'm also going to cover, luckily I live in an area in California. I live near Sears Point Raceway, Sonoma Raceway for some of you who may know it as that. I'm going to be racing up there. I'll be racing mostly in an area called Davis and then also Dixon, but I plan to get a membership to the Davis track because I'll get a key to the track and I can go there freely and when I'd like to do it. So with that, let's go check out the kart. I was hoping to have this recorded actually before I left to work, but because I didn't get the chance to do that, it's actually 2 a.m. and I'm doing this for you guys. So before we go and take a look at the kart, I actually wanted to show you guys something. So like I said, I wanted to see, basically I got into like karting because I wanted it to be something affordable, and I thought it was something good to cover for the channel because I want to go over all the costs of how much it was. That's my cat right there. How much everything is going to cost me and how much it took to get into this. So one thing that you do need for karting, and I bought, was this suit off of Amazon, and this costed about, it was $99.99, so $100. And the brand is Race Quit. The suit actually is not that bad. It fits pretty well. I'll let you guys know how it works out if I die in a ball of fire, but it is certified, and there is a warning in here, and it says, this is my favorite part about the suit, it says, motor racing is extremely hazardous. Let me show you guys. It says, injury, death, or worse will occur. So I'm not really sure what's worse than death, but yeah, there it is. Is it focusing? I don't know, but yeah, it says that. Anyways, but yeah, so the suit was $100. I already have a racing helmet, so that's something I didn't have to buy. But if you're looking at getting like a SNELL approved helmet, which I recommend, You're gonna run anywhere between, like, on the lower end, $150, and you can get up into, like, you know, $600-700 for a carbon fiber one. Another thing I bought is I purchased race gloves. I just got a cheap pair to start. It was like $20, and then I also bought a neck brace. That was $30. That's required actually for the club that I'm gonna be going to. I'm gonna film on Saturday, hopefully, and that'll be my first day at the track with the cart. So for the big reveal, ba 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 ba. Voila. So ignore the dismal state of my yard, but this is it. Number 58 Burrell cart. Yeah, kind of anticlimactic, but this is what I'll be racing. And like I said, I kind of want to try and make this channel focus on things that everyone can do, because I got into cars not because I was able to drive them from someone I knew, but someone let me try them out. I loved it, and I think karting is a really good way for people to get into racing, and it's basically the most affordable way to get into it. But let me show you guys around the cart real quick. So it's a Burrell cart. This one is a 2010, and like I said, I got it for $1,700. At the end of this video, I'll go over a breakdown over how much everything costed me. And when I bought this, so it was posted for, I actually got it off Craigslist, so right now the side bumpers aren't on, so those will be on Saturday when I go racing. Yeah, it's like got a fiberglass seat. But so here's the gas tank that I actually broke that I was talking about, and I had to buy a new one. $100 mistake. Don't want to crack one of those. Yeah, so it's a Perillo Leopard motor, as you can see right there, and I got some work done on it. I got the whole cart. It was posted for $2,500. Bought it for, got the guy to actually bring it down to $1,700. And I was gonna try and negotiate a little bit lower, but as you guys can see right here, it came with the Micron on it. So that guy on eBay, even a used one, is going for roughly anywhere between like $150 to $200. So this keeps pace of your tracks, engine revs, and unfortunately the 3 doesn't keep track of your speed, which kind of sucks, but I think later on I'll upgrade that. But to start, I just didn't want to put a bunch of sunk costs into this thing, and just wanted to start out with what I needed to just get to the track and start going. But wow, I already got some cobwebs on here. Okay, but so it's a Perillo Leopard motor, 125cc. When I bought it, this igniter wasn't working, so I took it in, got this replaced, got a little bit of work done on it. This seal here for the exhaust, got that fixed, and got a little bit of other things tweaked on it just so that it'd be up to par. Probably gonna need new tires after a session or two. But we'll talk about that later. So I don't want to talk about maintenance costs right now. I just want to focus on the startup cost of this thing. So like I said, I spent roughly $1,700 on the cart, and then say another $300 for, you know, like the tank. So subtract about $100 for the tank if you don't end up breaking your tank. And then I actually spent another $40 here to buy the battery, because when I bought this, it actually wasn't able to start from this switch here. And I wanted it to be able to start with that because I had a hand crank for it. So let me go ahead and start it up for you guys, and I'll show you guys how it runs. So here we go, moment of truth. Oh man, this is not going as planned.
One eternity later.
There we go. So, there goes the Micron. So there it is running. It doesn't idle very well until it warms up, so I'm gonna go ahead and turn it off. So yeah, there it was running. Turned it off because it doesn't idle very well until it's warmed up. Actually, these engines don't idle very well in general. It's a 2-stroke engine, just for anyone who was wondering and you're not into karts. Anyone who does kart and has any suggestions for me, or any things that basically, anything you can suggest for me to do to improve this thing, let me know. Like I said, I'm just getting into it. If you guys have suggestions for 2-stroke oil to use and other stuff, I'd really appreciate it, as I just bought some 2-stroke oil, enough to probably mix about 20 gallons of gas, and that costed me roughly about 25 bucks. So definitely looking to get 2-stroke oil that's for a Kart engine that's a little bit better in price than that. So real quick, let's go over the cost of everything. So Kart was $1,700. Then I did a service on it that was $200, so now we're at a total of $1,900. Then I had to buy equipment to start karting, so that was $100 for the suit. And then, like I said, it's kind of up to you how much you want to spend on the suit, but $100 is actually probably the best deal you're going to find for a suit, especially a flame retardant one. And I'll leave a link for that suit in the comments below, or actually in the description box below, so that you guys can check it out. And as I use the equipment that I bought in this video, by the way, I'll do a review on it over time and how well it holds up. Other thing I bought was race gloves. That was another 20 bucks. Bought a brace for my neck. That's a requirement. That was another $35. Then I have my helmet. Helmet is gonna cost you guys anywhere around $150 up to $600 plus, depending on like how nice of a helmet you guys want to get. So in this video, I'll just keep it at $150 because I would say that's the minimum you want to spend on a helmet, especially if you want your helmet to double as something you could use if you went to a drag strip or something. If you have a car that you want to race, you will need a SNELL approved helmet. Then the other thing is race shoes. I actually didn't buy race shoes, but you can buy ones. They can be flame retardant. I think I'll just start off with using my Nike SBs, just something with a flat sole, but later on I'll get some race shoes. Reason I really suggest flame retardant stuff, especially with karting, is the tank. Like I said, I cracked it before I even started racing. It's made of plastic. The kart's low to the ground, you're creating sparks, and basically gas can get anywhere, and if someone like hits you or something and the tank ends up cracking and there's sparks, it's gonna light pretty quickly. But I don't think that happens too often, so hopefully it'll never happen to me. But yeah, so those are the main costs, and so total we're looking at, gonna add it up later because I didn't add it up in my head as I was saying it right now. And so yeah, so that's the total cost of racing. I hope everyone who's watching this video who's interested in racing kind of takes that to mind. And obviously, like I said, this is budget racing in the video description, but in reality it's gonna cost you some sort of money. Maintenance on the kart is obviously gonna be a cost, and I'll cover that as I continue karting because I don't know all the costs right off the top of my head, and I really don't know how often I'll be changing tires, doing servicing on the engine, and all that other stuff. So as time goes on, I'll cover that stuff and let you guys know how much it's costing me. But for now, that's it. Let me know what you guys thought of the video, if you think I shouldn't use a DSLR, if I should just stick to the GoPro, if the sound quality here is good or not. And until then, like, comment, subscribe. If you guys didn't like the video, make sure to hit the dislike button and let me know why you guys didn't like the video. But until next time, I'll see you later.